Hey guys, this is Jason Bitbender Brink, and I am coming to you guys from the Mission Brewery in San Diego, where we have set up and we will be here for the duration of Comic-Con. We've got some awesome stuff going on, and I was going to do the ahead of the game from this awesome location where we have some, stuff set up, but the problem is that it's too hot. Cameras keep overheating, no matter how many heat sinks I put on them, and the internet is too crappy to allow me to actually get the stream out. So what I wanted to do is do a really quick introduction here to kind of give you guys a little bit of news, set a little bit of context for everybody, and then kick it off so that Paul can do his magic and go ahead and get Kate's interview out there for you guys. So with that in mind, welcome all to a very, very much abbreviated Ahead of the Game episode 9. And it's wonderful to be here to talk to you guys. I wish I could make it more awesome. I even wore my green shirt that I can never wear when I'm actually on green screen. So basically, got a couple of interesting updates for you guys because I know there's some stuff that people are asking about. The first is Legends Reborn. Wanted to talk about this very briefly because I know that people are worried about it. So what essentially happened with Legends Reborn is that Kabam, the parent company of Kung Fu Factory, decided to shutter Kung Fu Factory. They shut it down, and one of the titles that fell victim essentially to that shutdown, along with all of the developers and whatnot, was Legends Reborn. Now, there's nothing that we can do about that specifically with Kabam. However, what we are doing is we are working on potentially creating a way for us to fund the development of Legends Reborn and keep that continuing. Can't make any promises about it, but I just wanted to let everybody who is worried about it know that we're aware of that, we're aware that you guys are concerned, and we are doing everything in our power to make sure that there is a good outcome there for everybody. And I also wanted to give some brief updates on Mirandus and Tweety. So there's some playtests going on now for the people here at Comic-Con, but all of welcome all to a very, very much abbreviated Ahead of the Game episode 9. And it's wonderful to be here to talk to you guys. I wish I could make it more awesome. I even wore my green shirt that I can never wear when I'm actually on green screen. So basically, got a couple of interesting updates for you guys because I know there's some stuff that people are asking about. The first is Legends Reborn. Wanted to talk about this very briefly because I know that people are worried about it. So what essentially happened with Legends Reborn is that Kabam, the parent company of Kung Fu Factory, decided to shutter Kung Fu Factory. They shut it down, and one of the titles that fell victim essentially to that shutdown, along with all of the developers and whatnot, was Legends Reborn. Now, there's nothing that we can do about that specifically with Kabam. However, what we are doing is we are working on potentially creating a way for us to fund the development of Legends Reborn and keep that continuing. Can't make any promises about it, but I just wanted to let everybody who is worried about it know that we're aware of that, we're aware that you guys are concerned, and we are doing everything in our power to make sure that there is a good outcome there for everybody. And I also wanted to give some brief updates on Mirandus and Tweety. So there's some playtests going on now for the people here at Comic-Con, but all of you get to participate in this as well. So make sure that you check that out, check the official announcement channels, and give them a play. The playtest for Mirandus is completely wide open, so check that out. There's been a lot of cool updates that I think you guys will appreciate. And yeah, that's basically it. So I just wanted to, before this goes over to Kate, I wanted to say thank you guys so much. I appreciate you watching and listening, and I promise that there will be a much better Ahead of the Game this coming week with a lot more updates, because I've got a lot to share, but I don't have the time or the space to do it right now. And I have to make this small enough so that I can actually send it on my phone to Paul and get that up. So thank you guys very much, and with that, we will take it over to Kate from Decrypt. Peace out, guys. See you soon. Hello, Kate. Welcome to Ahead of the Game, episode 9. How are you doing today?
Great. Thanks for having me, Jason.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. You and I keep bumping into each other at events. I always see you wandering around with your crew from Decrypt. It's always nice to see you guys. You always have such a cool team with you, and you are obviously awesome as well. And I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today.
Thanks.
So for those of you guys who are watching who don't know Kate, Kate is absolutely amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Kate?
So I'm a lifelong gamer. It's always been one of my big passions besides writing. And so, after grad school where I had like written a novel and always been sort of a sci-fi nerd and wrote some like sci-fi stuff.
I didn't know you wrote a
I
novel. What novel is it? Can
Yeah,
you plug it here? Did it get published?
no, it's not yet. It was a first novel, so I'm writing another one. But yeah, this is
You're
all to
you're gonna give
say.
me a copy, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
read it.
Signed copy.
I'm a total sci-fi nerd.
Oh, amazing. Cool. So So I don't know. Yeah, basically like sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, writing. It was all kind of different obsessions of mine that I had been combining in different ways over the years. And I had always been involved in journalism in some capacity as like journalism is the thing that people read your writing as a journalist. It's one of the easiest, arguably one of the easiest ways to get paid for writing and have people actually read your writing. It's just sort of a well-known thing. It's hard to be a poet. It's hard to make money as a poet, for example, or as a novelist or
Yes, I
any of
imagine
this.
it is.
Yes. And it's also hard to get paid as a gamer, but that's a conversation for another time. This is all to say that I ended up going down like the gaming journalism path, and I started as a freelancer after grad school and really just like started from the bottom, and now we're here. So I sort of worked my way up through writing for different publications about games that I was passionate about, knowledgeable about, everything from Animal Crossing to Overwatch to Apex Legends, to Diablo 3, different games like that. So definitely a bit of a Blizzard nerd, I guess. Also, just like really exploring Web3 games now with Gigi. I'm super excited about the space with blockchain gaming, and a lot of the games that are coming out and that are in development are really exciting to me. I am not biased really toward any platform. If a mobile game is good and addictive, I will play it. It'll just be like a different time where I'll play it. Like I was
Right.
playing this game called Tetro Tiles, and I was like, yeah, this game's like very simple premise, and I'm not gonna like sit down and grind it for 8 hours, but I will
Right.
just, sometimes pull it up when I feel like I want to. And there'll be other times where I go for the PC games where I want to like really feel immersed in a world, or other games where I want to relax. And so I'm kind of a, what's the word? I guess omnivorous gamer in that
An
sense.
omnivorous gamer. I like that. I like that. And what's GG?
Yeah, so GG is Decrypt's blockchain gaming, Web3 gaming vertical. We cover Web3 gaming news, reviews, previews, and do video interviews. And we also have some cool creators. We embed their live streams on our site to really help people see Web3 games in action and see that there is a community blossoming around these games, and that people are playing them and having fun, getting frustrated, having good moments, having bad moments, all that stuff. It's a very holistic experience, and so it's sort of like our way to give the community news and also hopefully help build a community out of this emerging space.
I dig it. Now, in this space, obviously in the Web3 gaming, you're seeing things much earlier than you would sort of in traditional Web2 gaming, and that's been sometimes that's super frustrating for people because they expect there to be parity between a $300 million title that's polished and has been under development for 4 years, and a thing that has been put together by a much smaller team over 6 months and is a tiny mini vertical slice, and they expect them to be the same, and they're obviously not. But in this space, how did you first come across Gala?
Yeah, so I think it was through probably Crypto Wendy or someone along
Okay.
those lines. I think I had been involved in crypto and was crypto curious ever since I started freelancing for Decrypt. And I basically started at Decrypt as like a general freelancer. And then really found my niche, and like my favorite kind of topics to cover were a lot of the culture topics, a lot of the like film meets
Mm,
crypto, comic books meet crypto, games meet crypto. And, as like a pretty competitive gamer, I would say that eventually became my clear niche in the space, and at
nice.
Decrypt. So that was kind of how I found Gala Games. Like, I remember I had met you a long time ago. It was like many years ago at some
Yeah,
very early like Spider Tanks thing at DecentralCon in Miami.
in Miami.
And
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
and that was like a while ago, right? So even back then
It
it was kind of
was.
just like Splinterlands and then Spider Tanks, and then I guess maybe DeFi Kingdoms was out then too.
Yep.
So it was very early days. It was like honestly before Axie even spiked, as far as I remember. It was really early days of like blockchain gaming.
Right. Well, you've seen this a few times, I'm sure. It's a ninth episode, so there have been a few of these out here. You know how this goes. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions. The first question is, what is something that you feel we could improve on, or is a miss on our part, or something that, hopefully there's some constructive criticism involved, or you could just, call us terrible human beings if you want as well. I mean, whatever floats your boat. But what's an area we can improve on?
And when you say we, you mean Gala Games?
I mean, or me personally, if you could take some shots at me as an individual if you feel like
Oh
it,
no.
but Jason, be better. Whatever works for you.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think this is a challenge that the whole blockchain gaming space faces. So y'all are included in that as a part of the space. I think the space really struggles with marketing. I think marketing is
Hmm.
is a really big challenge. And I think getting beyond just the crypto native audience, because a lot of folks in
Oh my God,
crypto are in
yes,
it to trade, they're in it to gamble, some of them. And I think that's a different audience from
it's
the
a
broader
very
gaming
different audience.
audience. And they have different wallet sizes, right? Like the average gamer, they probably spent like all their money that they could from their job, on their PC. Like this is like, gamers are just not investors necessarily. Like there is some
Right,
overlap, of course, but I just feel, and from my gaming friends that I have, on my Discord server, I have a pretty good sense of like their lives and what they choose to spend their money on. And I just think that like we need to acknowledge as an industry that gamers don't have $1,000 or more to spend on a single NFT. And so I think we need to be really realistic
yes,
about like the price points if we're trying to attract like a bigger gaming audience. Cause I
absolutely
know that
agree.
like you could just be like, okay, well, what could I get for $1,000 like for my computer? Like upgrade it. Like you could buy like
Right,
2 new 4K like monitors. You could buy like a new
yeah,
graphics card, maybe, or you could have like one little digital NFT. And so I think
exactly.
like that's something that the space, in order for us to achieve like this mass adoption thing that we always talk about, I think like
It's
even,
really interesting.
yeah, even for me personally, like I don't want to spend more than $100 on an NFT. I'm sorry. Even if it's like an epic legendary thing, I'm just like, there's so many games
Uh,
that I want to play, and it's like until I get really hooked on one single game, then
hmm.
maybe I could justify spending more money on a single in-game asset. But until that like community is really solidified around the game, until the
Right.
game has been released for a while and there's like that obsession there, that I think that's when it could work, right? Like I think about
Hmm.
WoW and I think about Overwatch and League of Legends and all these games that have huge rabid communities that are so passionate. Like they're able to spawn these billion-dollar merch industries surrounding their games, and they don't even have NFTs, but they're able to get people to spend so much money.
Yep.
Like the amount of money I've
Tons.
spent on cosplays, because I've done like a bunch of Blizzard cosplays for Widowmaker at Overwatch, Mercy, 2 different Mercy skins at Overwatch, and an Ash skin in Overwatch. So each of
Nice.
those cosplays cost me at least $400. And I
Yeah.
was making the cosplay myself. And so this is all just to say that like I think gamers can spend money if they're extremely obsessed with one specific game, but they have to get time with that game first. They have to get like
Yeah.
hundreds of hours with that game to be like, "Oh my god, I love this game. I'm so obsessed. I got to play it all the time.
Yep.
Now I got to go buy everything. Now my whole office needs to be themed with this
Right.
game." And so that's sort of like where I think the space could go, and it's
I,
exciting
I
to me.
I like that. I like that. We just onboarded a new UA manager right now who's his name's Suman. He's absolutely a badass, and he has really good taste in music, or at least he has the same taste in music, which is the same thing as really good taste in music, as we all know. Um, and I had a very fascinating conversation with him actually during his interview, and he was explaining in terms of user acquisition the difference between sort of the way that you approach marketing to these different groups. Crypto is a hyper cerebral group of people, generally speaking, and they want to think about stuff, whereas marketing to like your standard web 2 free to play, you just want them to just buy more gems or buy more whatever's it is, and there isn't as much of a thought about it. One's just to keep them engaged in the core loop of the game, and the other one is to you're essentially, ownership in web 3 is a philosophical, at a very fundamental level, a philosophical proposition, not just to spend money by the thing. So it's a very different thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's something that you feel that we do well?
Taking on a wide variety of game genres. I like that. I like seeing mobile games
It's a lot of
alongside
work.
RPGs
It's a
and
lot of
a
work.
huge variety of different styles. I think like that is the gaming industry. Like mobile
Right.
gaming is huge. Japanese RPGs are huge. There's so many different genres of games that I think could really excel in this space. And yeah, I think it's just really exciting to see like a huge variety of games, because I don't think that we can only do card games for Web3. I
Yes.
think we can do way more games, way better. And
Yes.
I'm personally not a card game player. I'm not a huge card game fan. And so I am super excited that there's like MMOs and RPGs and all these different things.
Yeah.
I would love to see more single player RPGs though, like just in general from the Web3 gaming space, because I see so many multiplayer games and I get a little nervous because I'm like, okay, if all these multiplayer games launch at the same time, like, and no one
Where are
queues
the
in to
players?
play,
Yeah,
then
it's a challenge.
you have a dead game on arrival, because then you have a 20-minute queue and people aren't going to queue for 20 minutes. Like that's what
Nope.
killed Overwatch 1 was the 25-minute DPS queues. And yeah, so they had to do like major game changes to fix that issue.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, especially difficult when you have, sort of the Web3 hyper constricted audience as well, where there's, I was doing some math on this the other day that, the total number of active wallets in the crypto space that are actually playing games is very small. Like it's very small. Okay, well, what's something that you are excited for in the future of what we're working on, or in the industry in general? I'll let you answer however you would like.
Yeah, I'm really excited about some of these MMOs actually, which I never thought I would hear myself say as someone who's like a shooter fan. Yeah, I love ability-based shooters and those kinds of games that blend like shooter elements with MOBA elements. And I did not expect to love Grand Saga Unlimited as much as I did when I was playing it. And I think for me, it was again because of like the solo play was a vibrant. It felt like a vibrant
Gotcha.
experience, and like even though it's still in development, I felt like it was pretty solid, and I didn't need to have like a ton of friends, all queued up with me in order to enjoy the
But
game.
you
I was
have
still
friends. Everyone knows you have friends, Kate. Come on.
not as many as you would think.
Well, you and I are going to have to hop in. I need to get you in Last Expedition. That's the thing that I am probably most excited about right now is getting Last Expedition. That new build is absolutely insane. And a lot of people, well, I think people know this, especially after last week with the hiccups with Stash's interview playback. We record these a little bit in advance, so I'm asking a question I don't actually know the answer to right now. Are you going to come down to Mission Brewery tomorrow night?
Oh, I'm in Atlanta.
You're in. Oh, I know you're in Atlanta, but are you going to be in San Diego for Comic-Con?
No,
No.
tragically. We have one staff member in San Diego, but I'm not sure if she can go. But
Well, she should come. We'll
yeah.
hook her up. It'll be fun. Um,
I'm
Okay,
glad you
well
guys are doing Comic-Con though. I
we
mean,
are doing
I heard
Comic-Con.
that's
Well,
like it's like a thing this year. It's great.
well, so that's the thing. So what people don't know is that this is actually it's Friday right now. So it's like a week before our event in San Diego at Comic-Con. So I don't actually know who's going to be there yet. I know that I'm going to be there. And in fact, when this airs, I'm probably going to be recording or doing the live portion of this, maybe even from the event space at Mission Brewery. We'll see. But it's a bummer that you won't be able to be there, and I hope that we can get somebody from Decrypt in there, because there's going to be some really cool stuff, and we're doing some really neat cosplay things. So
Sweet.
we
I
need
know
to
I
get you
love
out there, though.
Comic-Con.
We need to get you out there. I'm gonna have to see what we can do, Kate. We're gonna have to work on this. We got a week to figure it out.
I'm so sad. I mean, I left LA, but now there's like the film industry strikes happening, so all the production here is shut down. So
Everywhere.
limbo.
Our whole plan has had to pivot a little bit because of that. We were going to do some pretty cool things with people. I don't think I can name names because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't follow the film part of our ecosystem as closely, so I don't know what's been announced and what hasn't. So I can't say who was going to be there, but apparently they're not now because of the SAG stuff. But yeah, it's still going to be a really fun event, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Sweet.
Well, Kate, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today, and we will catch up soon, and I'll see you soon for sure.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Thank you guys so much. Okay, guys, so that was Kate. Huge shout out to Kate, and a thank you to her for being awesome, and to Decrypt and all of the rest of the people over at GG. You guys are amazing. And so what I'm going to do right now, before I go and before we have the outro, is I'm going to just kind of give a little walkthrough through the space. So welcome to Mission Brewery. We've got a bunch of PlayStations, well, stations for play, not actually PlayStations, you understand, set up here. Got some people playing Last Expedition right now. We've got some spider tanks set up there. That right there, that's Chair Bandit. Say hello, Chair Bandit.
Hello, everyone.
So Chair Bandit says hello, everyone. Hopefully you could hear that. And here we've got a bunch of other stuff going on. We have some awesome glasses, pint glasses, more Gala people. Ooh, what is that? Ooh, Champions Arena. Wait. There we go, everybody. Champions Arena. And we've got more people coming in right now, just coming in to check out. I'm going to step outside for a second. It's hot as hell here. It's like ridiculous. So we've got Taco Love. You can tweet for tacos. And yeah, it's fantastic. So anyway, guys, I invite you all to come down here to Mission Brewery and to come check out what we've got going on. And I hope to see you here. And if you can't make it and you happen to be in Los Angeles, come down to, what was it? 2-Bit Arcade. I want to say that's right. If you're in Gala Gold, you can get entrance Saturday night for a few of you guys. So check the Gala Gold announcement channel for that. Anyway, thank you guys. I'm sorry this is such a short episode of Ahead of the Game, but I appreciate you all. Peace out. More information coming soon.